They kill you, they're better. You kill them, you're better.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Pretty Good Gaming. My name's Gareth Evans. I'm here joined by Mr. Henry Cooper. How are you, sir?
Oh, all right.
Good, that's awesome. Let's move on. We're going to talk about Apex Legends today. This was a game dropped out of the blue by EA and Respawn, developed by Respawn. They are the makers behind the Titanfall franchise, which is a beloved franchise. It's very niche at the moment. Titanfall 2 didn't do too well. However, people still love the game. I did say published by EA, the big bad wolves of the gaming industry. This is a free-to-play battle royale game, and it came out of the blue. No prior build-up, no lead up to it, like months in advance saying that this game's coming. It launched on Monday, was it?
Yeah, and Monday overnight.
Completely out of the blue, and people have played it and people like it. But what the hell is it? What the hell does it involve? How does it play? What are the details? Tell me the details, guys, I hear you say. And that's what we're here.
Furiously typing.
So what is it? We've played it. We've had a good few hours. I played it for a good couple of sessions yesterday. You played it. We had a game with one of the patrons. Shout out to Wylad.
We didn't do very well, mind. We got killed quite a lot.
we did get killed quite a lot. But what the hell is it, right? So it is a game set in the Titanfall universe. People, expecting maybe a Titanfall 3 with this announcement. They were disappointed, but
yeah, it's definitely no Titanfall 3.
It's definitely not a Titanfall 3. However, we can talk about that in just a while. They haven't ruled that out, by the way, because there's more Titanfall content coming towards the end of the year, apparently. But we can talk about that in a bit. So it is a battle royale game. It is 60 players per round. Teams or squads of 3 only. No single player, no teams of 4, no other options. So there's 20 squads in total, and there's a single map right now, and that's just how it is, like at Olympia. However, the game is very smooth. I mean, for something that's come out of the blue, you'd expect some jank, you'd expect some issues in performance, some glitches maybe. None of that, really.
Like, it came out and it runs properly. It's hard to believe these days, but
it's been EA and it's been compared with Anthem. It's easy comparison with Anthem because it's EA game, right? And it's been launched very soon, is Anthem. But however, there's been demos of that over the last couple of weekends, and there's a lot of jank, a lot of glitches and that shit. None of that shit with Respawn. Respawn are on the nose with this game, and it plays smooth and it's beautiful and it's nice, like butter, you could say.
I had loads of fun playing Anthem, but it was glitchy. I had loads of fun playing Apex Legends, and it wasn't glitchy. It was nice. Just so much better.
It was a good experience, and that goes to show the caliber of the developer we're talking about here. And I think that a lot of the goodwill towards Apex Legends is generated by the fact it is Respawn, and although it is EA and they've got a bad rap in the industry for a lot of the right reasons, Respawn do garner a bit of respect in those terms. So
they've been super transparent about it as well. They've come out and said trying to tell people we're doing this ahead of time just would have been met with like controversy. So there's a quote from lead producer Drew McCoy: "To try and convince a skeptical audience for months with trailers and hands-on articles, we're just like, let the game speak for itself. It's the most powerful antidote to potential problems." And that's great, because they've not let it be kind of teased and stew and people form their opinions based on like not actually having played it. They're just like, here's the game, what do you think?
It's a fantastic strategy.
Yeah,
it really
I'm on board with it.
I think that launching the game and letting the game do the talking, other than other people, people around the industry, there's so many influencers, YouTubers and everyone who can form opinions and generate content, generate articles and that based on their own opinions, and then people can get on board with those opinions, and then they have some sort of preconception of what the game's going to play like or what it's going to be before they even play these days. And I think that sometimes is a little bit of a hurdle for these developers, just to throw the game out there and say, right, this is what we've got, play it right now. I think that has worked really well in this instance.
They knew that what they were doing has certain like buzzwords that people don't like free to play and loot boxes, and they understand being associated with EA does come with its own challenges, but they didn't like throw them under the bus or anything. They were just like, well, we know EA do have a reputation, but they just want to let people play the game.
Yeah, I think what this shows to me is that people making decisions at Respawn are very clever. Yeah. They know what's going on and they know how to play the game, and they've done it really well here. Anyway, let's move on. So this is a hero-based game, so there's hero-based characters with unique passive abilities and skills. So, for example, one of the characters is called Bloodhound, and he is the tracker class character. His passive ability allows you to see where the enemies have been. His tactical ability pings the area to reveal tracks left behind by foes, and his ultimate ability is called Beast of the Hunt, enhances your senses, allows you to move faster, and highlighting your prey. So that's just one example of what character and abilities that you have. There's a total of 6 characters to begin with that you can play. There's 2 that are locked. One called Bangalore, and that's the professional shooter character. Tanker character is called Gibraltar. The medic is called Lifeline. The scout, the scout character, and that's called Pathfinder. I think that was in Titanfall 2.
Yeah, they were one of the. It wasn't really a class. It was more like a skin. I guess you could look like that.
So there's a skirmisher called Wraith. And so they're the ones that are unlocked to begin with, and then you've got 2 which are locked. There's a trapper class called Caustic, and there's a trickster class called Mirage, and they're locked behind 12,000 legend tokens or 750 Apex coins. Now we'll talk about the currency in just a short while, but just as an overview of what these characters are and the type of things that you can do with them and what the differences are, like in terms of abilities and stuff, because they've all got their unique abilities. And this game has been described by some people as Fortnite meets Overwatch, and I think that's fair.
Yeah, that seems
pretty fair. It's like a free-to-play game. Yeah, anyone can play, but it's got the Overwatch hero-based.
Yeah, it's hero-based, but they're not as idiosyncratic. I guess they're not quite as stylized. They do have a style to them, but it's not as cartoony. It's kind of on the line between slightly cartoony and slightly realistic.
Okay, so what got me most about this is that it is a battle royale game, and people are. The question around battle royale is, people are just jumping onto this bandwagon and trying to get some of that Fortnite money, because essentially, I think Fortnite made $2.4 billion in the whole of last year. People want some of that Fortnite bucks, those Fortnite bucks. So you can get very cynical and say, like, this is just another battle royale game. It's just another game that they've cashed in on the game type in order to try and generate money. But this is what's different about Apex Legends, right? Is that it does have very interesting and new mechanics to the game, some of which are the ping mechanic, which you can ping locations of enemies and equipment, etc., using your character without being able to talk. You just press the middle mouse button. I don't know what button it is on a console, but then your character verbalizes what you're pointing at. So it's like, there's a level 2 helmet over here, and that's it. You don't have to talk on your comms or whatever. Your character says it. Or there's enemies over there, and you can decide what to do using the quick mouse wheel, and that's really cool.
Yeah, I thought that was a brilliant addition, because with multiplayer games, you don't always want to, hook up on mic and actually talk to people. You just want to jump in and have a quick bit of fun. But now you can just ping, there's stuff over there, there's enemies over there, let's get on with it.
I think one of the main problems about playing online for me, especially with randos and people who you don't know, is that there's no teamwork and there's no feeling of cohesion, right? There's a team of 3 in this game, and it feels like if you use this mechanic well and people are communicating well without using the voice chat, you can really enhances the team dynamic and allows you to prosper as a team, because team play is very, very important in these types of games. So I think that's just a fantastic addition. It's really clever thinking on Respawn's part again, I think. So Respawn, what would a respawn be without an actual respawn mechanic? You can respawn in this game, and the way it works is that you take a fallen teammate's banner to a beacon and allow them to recall it. They get like an air support drop ship that drops your character or the down teammate back into the game, which is great, although there's very limited beacons around the map. So the process of going to a beacon and having to pick up the banner before the time expires as well is another. And I think this is another very strategic type of gameplay element to introduce to this.
Because in a lot of games, you start taking damage, your health whittles down, and then you're downed. You need to be revived. You're on your knees. You can't really do a lot. So you can run over, revive them, give them some health, carry on fighting. But then if they're shot again while they're downed, then they're out. They're dead, and they drop all of their gear. So if you run over to that, you can be a little bastard and nick all their gear, but you can also take their banner, which is a little icon, and then take it to the respawn thing, which adds a whole extra level of pressure. So it's like, well, do I risk getting myself shot and getting from his dead body all the way over to the respawn beacon, or do I just go on without him?
And there's also the element of you can camp these beacons as well, waiting for people to come and revive their teammates. So that's
using them as bait.
Exactly, it's a strategic element there, which is great, and I love that. I love having extra things to think about. A thing called the jump master. So when you start a round, one of the 3 is called a designated jump master, and they decide where the whole team goes. If you don't do anything, the whole team will follow the jump master, unless you kind of opt out and go your own away, do a lone wolf thing or whatever, and you can defer the decision to be the jump master, which I think is a great mechanic because it allows you to all jump into the same place as a team without any communication, without anything. Just like, if you just leave it run its course, you will end up on the ground together, which is great.
And if you're not the jump master, you can ping locations like, oh, I think we should go over here. Because like, if your jump master is a new player, no experience, don't know where good parts of the map are, you can ping like, oh, over here in this town, there's a good spot to hang out. But then they can choose to ignore you, or they can be like, yeah, let's just go that way.
The other great addition to this is like zip lines and ropes and just the feeling of mobility, because mobility is a huge part of the gameplay in this game. Although if you compare it with Titanfall, there's no wall running and double jumping. Apparently they tried the wall running and Respawn said it just didn't work. But you do have these zip lines, and you've got this sliding mechanics. So if you're running, you slide, you go a little bit faster. Or if you're going downhill and you slide, you can get downhill really quickly. And the whole thing feels really fast and fluid.
There's definitely an energy to it, and I really like fast first-person shooters. That's why I really enjoy Titanfall 2. It's because it's so fast. And the wall running, it's a shame it's not there, but if it didn't work, it didn't work. I'd rather it work and be there, but if it doesn't work, just take it out. It's not worth having in if it's janky.
Yeah, and these zip lines are great as well because you can go up and down them, and it just feels very fluid. You can jump and vault. You can vault from day one. Imagine that. You know, like PUBG, it had its own trailer about vaulting, and then like months after that, vaulting then was actually introduced. This game is just a complete antithesis. It's like an antidote to all the jankiness of some other battle royale games. I think the whole thing, the fluid gameplay is the main selling point for me. And I think I've actually enjoyed a lot of my time with it, and I think I definitely will consider myself playing into the future. However, there is a question mark. This is the monetization. This is a free-to-play game, and generally what I think is, if it's a free game, take it or leave it. They have to monetize it in some way. So if they have to put cosmetics and a store in there, that's fine. The Warframe type of revenue model is what we're talking about here. So they do have monetization that way. So in a nutshell, it's strictly cosmetic monetization loot boxes, although there are loot boxes, right? That is the question for me, loot boxes. This is a game which is able to be accessed by youngsters, and having loot boxes in there is always very dubious in my eyes. However, let's talk you through some of the currencies. There are 3 currencies available in the game, first of which is called legend tokens, and these are earned by increasing your player level and can be earned through accumulating match XP, and they are used in the shop to unlock recolors of legendary weapons, legend skins, or unlock new characters. The second currency is called crafting materials, and these are dropped in the Apex packs, and the Apex packs are the loot boxes of Apex Legends. So these are the loot boxes, and the crafting materials you find in them can be used to craft specific cosmetic items such as legend skins, weapon skins, and other stuff. And the last one is Apex coins, and these are the premium in-game currency, and you can buy Apex packs, cosmetic items in the rotating shop, and new legends. So what are the cost of these Apex coins? Well, you get 1,000 Apex coins for around $10, or if you pay more, you get a discount on these. So it's like £8 in the UK. 100 Apex coins gets you a loot box. However, players can outright buy locked characters, so there is an option to just buy stuff outright, which is a nice option available. You don't have to enter into this loot box economy bullshit. You can unlock the other characters by paying $7.50 each, or you can just play for around 15 hours of game time to unlock each character, which sounds pretty fair to me. I just thought I'd outline that pretty quickly because I'm just going to ignore all this shit. I hate microtransactions, I hate skins, I hate cosmetics and all that shit. I don't even care, to be honest. I'll just ignore that and just play the game as it were for free. So I'll let someone else get upset about all that stuff.
One thing I think is weird that is obtainable through the loot boxes and all that is you can get random things like quips. So little things that, oh, your character will say this when he kills someone or at the beginning of a match. And it is a bit like, oh, well, let's just put this in as another collectible, purchasable thing. It doesn't really bother me. It's the same as an emote. It's essentially like a vocalized emote. And it's not like a big deal, but it just seems a bit odd that even that is a microtransactionable, collectible thing.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I let them monetize it in whatever way they wish. I mean, I wish loot boxes weren't in there, but it's a free-to-play game. I'm not going to argue, let's be honest. We've got other things to discuss here. However, we are out of time for this video. This is our brief first impressions of the game, what it involves and that. We are going to go into more detail during the podcast this week and discuss the ins and outs of what the future is for the Titanfall series, as well as anything else, and how well Apex is doing, how well it's been critically received. We'll go into all of that at a later date. But for now, thanks for watching. We will see you again in the next video. Until then, bye for now.